Welcome to the 2023 Western Minnesota Steam Threshers Reunion. These are just some of the many stories told by the military veterans who have served this country.
My name is Arthur Anderson Jr., but everybody calls me by Ole. I live in Rothsay, Minnesota. I went in the Army. I did like this on my 20th birthday and went through everything and got orders for. I was down in Atlanta, Georgia for 5 months, and then I went back to another school, and when I was done with the heavy equipment maintenance, I had orders. I was TDY from Vietnam. So I had 5 days leave time, and I joined the Army. I don't know if I said that or not, but I had 5 days from Washington, D.C. to get to Air Force Base in California, Travis Air Force Base, to fly to Vietnam. And all my traveling I did by myself. I did not like it. A lot of other guys, they traveled with a group. I was by myself. And yes, we landed at Tonsanut Airport, and I went to my company, and the sergeant said, "We got a big inspection coming. You're going to stay here until that inspection is done, and then we're going to go to Phu Bai. You're going to go to Phu Bai." And I had to go find a map and look where it was. And it was way up north. And I didn't have nothing to say because that was my orders. And after the inspection, 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, and I'd say on the third week, the sergeant came to me and said, "You're going to stay here. The next guy is going to Phu Bai." That is why I am talking today, because I had good duties at Tonsanut Airport because I was in the Army Security Agency. And a lot of soldiers from the bigger cities didn't have driver's license. And I had a driver's license from Minnesota. So they issued me a Vietnamese driving license. And I seen more of Saigon than most Vietnamese. But anyway, before 6 months, I knew I had good duty, so I volunteered to stay an extra 8 months. So I spent 20 months in Vietnam. We had to do it before 6 months so we could get the paperwork back to Washington and back again in Vietnam. So I spent 20 months in Vietnam. And during that time, one day I went downtown to a tailor shop to buy a pants and shirt tailor-made because you didn't take them right off the shelf. And by gosh, I seen this wonderful girl in the back, but oh my God, she looks so young. And it took me a while before. She couldn't speak English, I couldn't speak Vietnamese, and I finally found out she was older than me. So, okay, now let's see what we can do. And yes, I talked to her, kind of oof in the May, and she seemed interested too because she went to the bookstore and bought a book that we could translate either way. And yes, she is my wife now. And we have been married for 56 years. And she loves this country because when she got her citizenship, she said, I'm not Vietnamese anymore now. I'm an American. And that means the world to her. And I am Norwegian. She knows how to make lefse, kroomkake, and egg rolls. So I don't know what more I could ask for. But no, I had good duty, and I was out of Vietnam before it really got bad. So I am honored just to be here. I have been up to ROLLAG many times, but I am not a member. But I come up here and I tell you what, this 4 days, they are treating the veterans unbelievable. So thank God for the people that organized this. I have a Jeep that I go in the parade, and I was on the committee just a little bit. So I don't know what more to say, but I was very lucky in Vietnam. So, and lucky to have a Vietnamese wife with 3 children and 1 grandchild. And God bless the United States. Please do it for me because I love this country. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Tracy Diefenbach, and I'm from rural Waban, Minnesota. I was in the United States Army as a Chinook gunner and crew chief. We've been coming to ROLLAG as many times as I can get here over the last 30 years. I come here in memory of my grandfather who loved ROLLAG. He loved the motors and the tractors, especially the steam tractors. If you haven't come to ROLLAG, please come. There's something for everybody. My grandpa loved the maple ice cream. He would run to the ice cream and find his maple ice cream. I would like to tell folks that there's a ton of stuff here for families and their kids to do. Come step back in time and enjoy the events at ROLLAG.
My name is Ed Walton, and I'm from Lisbon, North Dakota. I was in the service from 1965 to 1967. So I spent 1 year in Vietnam. I spent 1 year in Fort Lewis, Washington, and came back to North Dakota and started farming out in Lisbon, North Dakota. So I am still farming out there with my boys. So, and I have a Jeep here today that I originally drove a Jeep in the Army, and so then I took one to Vietnam with me, but they took the radios out of it, put it on my back, and we went to the jungle, so I never seen any more of the Jeep. But I bought one here, and now I have a Jeep here, just like my Jeep that I had in the service. I put all the ID numbers on it the same as my one in the service. So I've been here 4 times, but I showed tractors and I've showed other stuff. I really have not been a member. Every year I've become a member for 1 year. That's about it. So.
My name is Jim Carrier. I'm from Fargo, but originally from Middle River, Minnesota. I was in the Army, drafted in 1967. I've been coming out here off and on for 2-3 years, and I started out as a military police. I got into the dog corps, so I was in the K-9s for about 4 months in Vietnam, 2-3 months in Vietnam, and then I put in a 1049, which is a request for transfer. At the time I was in a base called Futai with the Military Police Dog Corps, and I transferred to helicopter door gunner in around June of 1968. Previously I'd trained a dog in Okinawa and then shipped to Vietnam. From Futai, I went to an outbase called Kontum as a door gunner, and eventually trained in OJT as a crew chief and door gunner, and flew missions, FOB missions for Special Forces into Laos and Cambodia. And that's basically my story. This place right here is just fantastic. In fact, this place here is better than, we went to DC at Smithsonian, and they had a little square corner for Vietnam vets. And that it's been better since then, I'm sure, but oh yeah, well, we know Bonnie and Lyle Austin, and Austin, and a bunch of other people that work here. In fact, one of the fellows that's in small engines, Ron Frigsted, flew with my unit in Vietnam, so he's one of the helicopter pilots or one of the maintenance crew or whatever. So, but he just had a struggle with his health issues, and we can't get a hold of him, so it's kind of sad. But we're going to have another reunion in October in Enterprise, Alabama, and then we're going to head to the Special Forces in Vegas. So that's the story of my life.
We salute these veterans and thank them for their service to this country. If you'd like to share these stories, please do so by clicking on the share button below.